One of the things that people often lose sight of is that you're absolutely right. If you look at just the Civic Center, it runs at a deficit. But the thing we don't include in that equation is the impact on the rest of our economy. So if we have a convention in town, think of whatever convention you want, but then they are staying in hotels, they are eating in restaurants, they're doing shopping. So once you start to look at the overall impact to our community, it's definitely a positive. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. I mean, bulldoze it and be done.
It's a profit for the city, but not for itself.
Yeah, you have to look at that bigger picture. Now, the gentleman mentioned business, and if you were in a business, think of it as a loss leader sort of thing. You have certain items to get people in the store, but you make it up on some of your other products. So this is, in certain respects, this is somewhat similar. It's an amenity, there's no doubt, and it's something we do to attract people to our community. But financially, it has much broader impact on our community. Otherwise, as I say, we would just quit. I mean, just shut it down. If it didn't have it would be foolish to just continue to lose $1 million a year or whatever that number is, year after year. That just wouldn't pass the test.
I don't think there's a public civic center in the country that makes money, right? I mean, some lose millions. But
I'm not aware
that's
of
considered
that.
The subsidy is considered part of the budget because they go, well, if we didn't have it, we wouldn't have the deficit, but we wouldn't, like you said, you wouldn't have the business, and not just the business, but there are events that are held there that are for the public. You go to concerts and things like that. So it was a public purpose for that building.
Yeah, and that's always gets a bit of a slippery area. A lot of the things we do, we don't have to do.
Well, look at the rec center. That thing operates
the
at
rec center, parkland, trails that we provide. We don't absolutely have to do those things, but we do them for the enjoyment and of the people that live in our community. Government, in my opinion, our chief responsibilities are things like public safety, roads, clean water, reliable utilities, and you could argue that we just stop there. And beyond that, we don't provide all those other amenities. We don't provide an art center or theater or any of those things. But we, as a community, have to agree that that those things do have value. Right. For those that live here. Now, we can debate on what the priorities are, and that we often do. I like parks, you like art, so it's an interesting discussion.